This is a continuation of our previous tutorial on how to build a custom setup wizard. This wizard can be used for app installation or creating a user form that validates the user input and shows the progress percentage using the custom progress bars. So if you have not watched that video, then click on the link above to watch it before watching this. Alright, guys, welcome again to Spin TV. My name is Hamisi. Let's continue building our app and add these cool transition animations as we had planned. What you are seeing on the left side of your screen is the original app I built, and on the right side is the app that we are going to make in this tutorial. Unlike the previous video, in this video, I will try and explain every step, so stick around until the end. Before we get started, remember to hit that like button and subscribe if you had yet not done so. We will begin by adding the style sheet. I'll just copy and paste this style sheet code, then make some necessary changes to match our widget IDs. Now we are done adding the style sheet. In the next part, we are going to add widget promote classes from the custom widget modules which will animate our widgets. Before we add these animations, let's generate the UI code first. This is how your project folder should look like, and this is the user interface file we just generated. Next, create the main Python file. Inside this file import Pyside-2 and the user interface file. Then create the main class. We are getting an error from our user interface file because we have not converted our QRC resource file to a Python file. So let's do that real quick. As you can see, everything is now running fine, but there is a small difference if you look closely at the original app and the one we are building now. In order to achieve the same look and functionality, we need to install the custom widgets module. I will leave this link in the description below. Run the following command inside your terminal to install this module. Now the next step is to remove the default window title bar, add the custom navigations, and also make the window background translucent. We are going to achieve this by using this module. All the documentations are on this website. What you need to do is to create the style.json file inside the root directory of your project folder. Inside this file, create the QMain window object, which will contain a list of all the custom values we want to apply to the main window. To apply this JSON style, we need to import the custom widgets module to the main file. Then call load.json style function. Let's have a look at the JSON file. This is how you set the window title, and this is how you set the window icon. To remove the window title, you have to set the frameless value to true. Also set the translucent BG value to true if you want your app window background to be translucent or transparent. Finally, the navigation key contains a list of buttons and widgets which will be used to navigate through our app's main window. Because we want the close button to bring a user prompt when clicked, we have to rename the button and change the exit button. This is the button that will close the app when clicked. The header frame here is used to move the app window when a user clicks and drags on the app title bar. Now let us add the slide animation to the stacked widget. Right-click on the Q-stacked widget, then select Promote. Now head over to this link, where you will get the Promote class and the header file name. Then click Add. Then click on Promote. After you have added the custom Q-stacked widget class, save your work, then generate the UI Python code. Inside your JSON stylesheet, create the Q-stacked widget object. Inside this object, pass the name of the Q-stacked widget that you want to animate. Next, pass a list of values that will customize the animations. Because we want the slide animation only, we will only customize the slide animation, but you can also add the fade animation. To learn more about the Q-stacked widget animation, click on the link above. Set the active value to true to activate the slide animation. Set the animation duration, direction, and easing curve. Now the navigation will contain a list of buttons that we will use to navigate through the Q-stacked widget pages. Let's preview the final results. As you can see, the slide animation and the navigation buttons are working as intended. Now we need to make some widgets responsive so that we can minimize and maximize them. You can learn more about creating a responsive GUI by clicking on the link above. You can also read this documentation for more information. This functionality only works with Q widgets, so we have to morph the frames that we want to minimize or expand into widgets. Next, click on Promote. Get the class name and the header file name from the documentation, then click on Add. Then click on Promote. Let's repeat this process for all the widgets we want to expand and collapse. Because we had created the custom class, now we only need to select it from the list. Let us save the UI and run our code. As you can see, no changes have been made to the interface. You should be able to see these new imports inside your UI file generated by Qt Designer. Now let us use our JSON style sheet to add responsiveness to the UI. Create the QCustom slide menu object that will hold a list of all responsive widgets and other custom values. The name key holds the name of the responsive widget. The default size object will hold the default widget size that will be applied to the widget on app startup. The collapsed size will be applied to the widget when you minimize it, and the expanded size will be applied to the widget when expanded. Let me update the names of the widgets. As you can now see, the welcome widget is expanded on app startup by default because we put its default size to auto. Now the final custom widget we are going to add is the custom progress bar or progress indicator. To learn more about the custom progress indicator, click on the link above, or you can visit the site and read this documentation, which I will link below. All we need to do is to create a custom promote class that we will apply to the widget that we want to use as the progress bar. Right-click on your widget, select promote. If you use the Q frame, then morph it into a Q widget like mine here. Right-click on the widget again, select promote, enter the promote class name and header file name which you will get from the documentation. Click add, then click on promote. The progress bar is not appearing because it has a 0 size value. Let's change the size. Now this is the progress bar will look like by default, so we have to customize it further. The custom progress bar class has around 5 preset themes you can use. In this example I have used theme 3 that will match with the app interface color. I have also set 5 progress steps because the wizard has 5 steps. I have also set the progress bar height, progress animation duration and start percentage. Finally, we will create functions that will validate the form inputs and also add navigation functions to the UI. I will share the full source code link at the end of this video, so keep on watching. These are the global variables that will hold the active QStack page widget number and the wizard validation error messages. Because I don't want this video to be too long, I'll just explain to you guys what is going on here, then you can download the source code and check these functions later. These are the button click events. When the start button is clicked, the start wizard function should run. This is the start wizard function which will expand the widget that contains the wizard steps or the QStacked widget pages. The function will also collapse or minimize the welcome page widget and expand the footer widget that contains the navigation buttons. We will also use the global active widget variable to set the progress percentage of the progress bar. The stop wizard function expands the welcome page and hides the widget container that contains the QStacked widget pages. This function also sets the progress bar value to 100%. This statement expands the welcome page widget on app startup. When a user clicks on the close button at the top right corner, an exit dialog should be displayed. This will be achieved by running the show dialog function. When the close exit dialog button is clicked, the hide exit dialog function will be run. These are the navigation buttons. When the buttons that navigate to the next slide are clicked, the next slide function should also run. This is the next slide function. It checks the current active page index, updates the global active page widget variable, animates the progress bar to the current progress percentage value. These navigation buttons navigate to the previous slider page. When clicked, they run the previous slide function. The final important function we have is the validate wizard function. I have put a queue timer that runs this function after every 100 milliseconds. This is the function. It validates all the inputs and checks the navigations and responsive widget status. This wizard has 5 stages, and each stage is validated only when the current page index is equal to or greater than this page or stage index. If any stage reports an error, then we will state the progress status error to true, else set it to false. Please guys, that's all I can explain for this tutorial. Please let me know in the comments section below any part you didn't understand. Continue watching to get the source code download link. As you continue watching, please do me a favor, leave a like, and a sub to this channel will be really helpful to me, so subscribe if you had not already hit that button. Also, share this video with your friends if you found it helpful. More cool and creative tutorials are on the way. A big thank you goes to my Patreon supporters. Thank you guys for your continued support. That's all for this tutorial. I hope to see you on the next video. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day.